Hey guys, just want to take a moment and sit down with you and just have you guys get to know us a little bit.
So we've got a short list of questions here just to kind of help you guys out a bit and get to know us a little bit better than just watching our videos and being like, who are these people and what are they doing? So it's a short list, so it's not all gonna help you guys know everything about our whole life story tonight. But if you have any other questions you'd like us to answer, just drop them in the comments below and maybe we'll do a part 2 to this video.
Never know.
Who knows? But for now, let's jump into these questions. Would you like to go first?
Sure. All right. So, what was your first impression of me?
My first impression of you was, well, to be honest, the first time I met you, I was kind of creeped out because it was the first year that I worked at Delta, and it was the whole car episode.
Yeah.
First time I had ever met him, we were all getting together in a car to go through a drive-through after a concert at the summer camp that we were working at. And so I never met him before he got in the car next to me, and it was kind of awkward. But then, like, first impression, like, when I actually was getting to know him a couple years later, I was kind of drawn to you because you were very friendly and you included me, and I didn't feel left out, and I felt like I could be myself.
Yeah.
So
That's a good answer.
yeah.
To the other side of that, I mean, I definitely felt my first time I saw her was at the porch where everybody kind of hangs out, and I was sitting there with a couple of my friends, and I saw her sit down, and she kind of, like, there was a group of people all together, and she kind of sat over on the other side, just her and herself and her water bottle, and I was just kind of thinking in my head, I'm looking at her, I'm like, I'm gonna make it my mission to get her like all grouped up with everybody, and eventually, like, I just kind of got on my little box and went over and started talking, and I just thought that kind of going along with your thought is like, I it's not fair that some people, like, I was that person who was always alone and stuff, and just not, I don't know, just didn't feel like it was just a weird place, so I wanted to make it more comfortable for her, and I thought it would be fun to kind of bring a smile to her face and go over and just change up the situation by saying hello and hi, and then kind of went back-to-back days doing that, and it was fun, kind of.
But what was your first impression of me?
My first impression of you, I'm going on and on. I thought you were quiet, and I thought you kind of kept to yourself very well, and you were very well-mannered, and you were the compliment between your blue eyes and your blonde hair was just amazing, and I just thought you were very well-mannered, and
well-mannered.
yeah.
All right, next question.
Well-mannered. That's the only thing that could flow out of my mouth. But continue.
What's a place you'd like to travel?
I was actually thinking about this the other night. I was watching a movie with you, and I was thinking, like, the two places. We actually, during our whole, like, week here, we went through Netflix account and watched a little bit about Cobra Kai, and we went through all the movies, and
yes, because he had never actually seen the Karate Kid movie, so I had to educate him.
it's really good, by the way, you guys. Go check it out. But I was thinking about it, and we went through the movies, and we went through Karate Kid #2 when he went back to Okinawa and seeing Japan. And I thought how cool that would be to go there and see that. And also, it's always been on my heart to go to Italy and experience that and experience what a real pasta dish is. And I don't know, there's something about it, just being able to go, and it'd be awesome. Anyway, you?
Well, the number one place that I've always wanted to go to, and it's kind of nerdy why I want to go there, but I want to go to New Zealand someday. And I mean,
Okay.
number one, it's a beautiful place. If you ever have seen any like videos or pictures or whatever, it's a beautiful place. But the main reason that I've always wanted to go there is so that I can go see Hobbiton. Because I'm a nerd. So yeah. But I'd also love to see Italy. Think that would be really cool.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know. Italy is just amazing. I mean, imagine going to a dinner and like the host is going to be mad at you for leaving on an empty stomach. Like she's going to require you to be fed before you leave her premises. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting off.
All right. I think this is one that you wanted.
Okay, so this is kind of funny because I've heard Rihanna say this a lot to me, and I just picked it out. But the question is, what will be your wife's most repeated sentence or phrase? And it's a question I just wanted to answer because it's kind of funny because I'll be on the computer looking up things, researching, and I'll be like, we could really use this for the house, and Brianna would be like, Nick, do we really need it? Do we really need it? But yeah, so I don't know. I've heard it a lot, but I know she's got a good heart behind it, so she keeps me in line.
Yeah. All right. What's our favorite sports teams? I, for one, am a hockey fan, and my favorite team is the Buffalo Sabres. Yes, I know that they stink, but I've been a diehard fan all my life. Thank you to my father for that. Yeah. And I still have hope that they will eventually do well.
Yeah, as for me, one thing you need to know about me is I grew up liking all the Hollywood like sports teams, like not Hollywood and location wise, but like the movies, like the Mighty Ducks, the Little Giants. I mean, that's kind of how they all blossomed into my life because just watching the Mighty Ducks, I grew up into a Ducks fan, living in New York State when their games start at 10 p.m. on the East Coast. And I can't ever watch their games.
Never watch a game, but he's a fan.
Yeah, and so...
And he's got all the gear to prove it.
Once I'm married into this awesome, lovely family, I am being slowly converted.
We're educating him.
Yeah, but I do have kind of like a slight variance to... but kind of like the Capitals a little bit too. As far as football, I am definitely a diehard Giant fan. I grew up in my family. My parents lived in Long Island for a while, so we had that like closeness to be able to go watch games and such. So, yeah. All right. Next question is, what was your favorite date night or date that we had together so far?
I think we both agree with this one. My favorite that I can think of off the top of my head is the day we went to Watkins Glen. Yeah, it was really fun. We hiked up through the park and we went and looked over the lake, and we went and had dinner at an Italian place because we both love Italian food, and he's Italian, so. But yeah, I think that was really fun. And then walking around like town for a little bit afterwards was really fun, looking at the different shops.
Yeah, I mean, I have a tie in my mind, but I definitely like Watkins Glen.
It's not what you said earlier.
Yeah, but I've been trying to think for this and trying to generate ideas, and but Watkins Glen was definitely amazing, and I loved it. It was very fun, getting to go and see the lake and planning a sailing trip for this next year. I don't know if it's going to actually happen, but
Did not know about that one.
seeing the sailing boat there. You did see the sailing boat, but yeah, that was nice. And then walking like the park, it was amazing because people have told me I have to go, so I wanted to go. And the second half to my answer would be on our honeymoon, we went, as you guys have all seen, to Oak Island, and like in like the southern coast of North Carolina.
That wasn't a date.
Well, hang on here. I'll just
That was our honeymoon, so it doesn't count. It's not a date.
hang on. I mean, we had a date night there.
Not really. The whole thing's our honeymoon. Wherever we go, it's all part of the honeymoon.
Well, hey, hang
So
on.
it's not a date night.
Hang on.
It's not a date at all.
It had donuts and ice cream together.
But it's not a date. It was part of the honeymoon.
How can you pass up donuts and ice cream?
But
Anyway,
it's not a date.
I guess we're sticking to these rules. I guess Watkins Glen is my number one.
Thank you. All right. Favorite movie of all time. Most of you might have already guessed this back with the New Zealand thing. But Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie of all times.
This is so difficult.
And favorite movie, like, from my childhood,
Wait,
continuing into my life, would be Wizard of Oz.
So,
but, yeah.
Are we going trilogy and best movie? Because I have a trilogy and
I
best movie.
have always thought of the Lord of the Rings as one thing.
Well, it's a trilogy.
So, it technically is 3 different movies, but I've never thought of it as that. It's always, like, just one continuing circle.
So, I'm just going to hop that train and say that I'm going to go trilogy and best movie. So my trilogy, I can't leave this out because my family would all shun me and say, that's not you, Nick. But I have to say, Back to the Future, all 3 of them are great. And then for my favorite movie, I am a huge Denzel Washington fan, and Remember the Titans has been one of my favorite movies since I was young. And it's got a lot of historical significance too, so it's pretty cool. But yeah. So, next question is when did we meet?
When?
When did we meet? That is the question.
Technically, was it 4 years ago?
Yeah.
A little over 4 years, I think. At Delta.
Delta, yeah.
During the summer when we were both working at summer camp.
Yeah.
Fun times.
We were kind of busy. Transition of staff and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. It was right after like the family camp concert.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned earlier, we were all going out for drive-through food.
Yeah.
So.
Never let people into your car when they're standing at a drive-through because they'll hop right into your windows.
That's a story for a different time.
Yep.
And if you want to hear more about it, comment in the comments below.
We gotta leave them on the edge.
What was your first job?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So it technically wasn't a job, but my dad is a... You know what? Leave it be. He is a golf professional, and that's what he does for a living. And he, so with him being a golf professional, he had ins to working at a golf course. So he asked me if he wanted me to work in the golf course and pro shop and clean clubs and park golf carts. And it was a nice summer job. I liked it a lot. And it was outdoors. And I had free reign to the putting green and driving range and play golf anytime I wanted, which was nice. But yeah, that was my final summer job. It was pretty fun. Got a lot of sun.
Yeah, and my first job was typical babysitting. So, so this is a question in series. The first part of the question is, did your first car have a name? And for me, that is yes, and it was Elmo. And I technically didn't even name the car. A friend of mine from the summer camp I worked at named it for me. And that's because it was red. So.
This is difficult. My first car. I didn't name my first car, but.
All right.
So technically, that was my first car. So this is my first car.
The first car that you had.
Oh, come on. Oh, okay.
And now, does your current car have a name?
Okay, since it's a two-parter, I'll let it slide. All right. So my first car did not have a name.
And your current car does.
We need to slow down here. My first car was a '99 Chevy Lumina.
Why does anybody need to know that?
Because that's why it's gone. It's dead now because it was a Lumina. It was Chevy. It's gone. Anyway. So the next question. Now we're on to, does your current car have a name? And what is it?
Mine is Dory, and it is blue.
As all my immediate family knows, I have a white Subaru Forester, and her name is Pearl. She gets all the love in the world.
And I get neglected.
No. No, that's not true.
Sometimes I get a little jealous.
No. I look at it like I need to be a good steward of what I have, so I want to take care of it.
Sometimes you go a little bit overboard.
No. I mean, I do well on time maintenance. I take her to get her oil changed, and I keep her clean during the winter and keep the salt off of her, you know.
All right. Next question.
Anyway, we're moving on. All right, so this is the question I put on, but I thought it would be funny. What is your most used emoji?
Mine would be the little double winky face with the tongue sticking out.
Yeah, so, yeah. Mine, I definitely, I had my fair share of fun texting conversations with people, and mine would definitely be the one with the sunglasses and the smiley grin.
Smiley grin.
But, yeah, that was mine.
All right, and last question, which is another one that Nick wanted. But it doesn't really refer to him.
Okay, so this question is, before making a phone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say and why?
And that would be a yes from me, because I am deathly afraid of phone calls and I avoid them at all cost. Yeah. I literally feel like I can't breathe when I'm on the phone.
It's okay. It's okay. We all have our fears. But
nobody understands my pain.
So if you guys have any questions or if you have any more things you want to hear from us, definitely comment below.
Don't forget to hit the bell and all that fun jazz.
Get our notifications.
Because you definitely want to hear more from us.
We actually have more questions we want to put together, so definitely I'm smelling a part 2 to this coming up. So
most likely. I mean, we'll be around for a while, so.
I feel like we're not going anywhere, so.
Yeah. All right. We love you guys. Catch you later.